This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. We may be a comic duo, but we take mental health very serious. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and is completely online. BetterHelp is a network with over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network.
You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/amp. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/amp.
Good morning. It's Meredith. Anxiety Makes Me Poop. Cass is not here because it is very early Sunday morning. And I wouldn't try and have her come over on an early Sunday morning after we just got dumped on with snow. We have about 14 inches of snow here in the Midwest by our house. So I would absolutely not ask her to drive over, even though I know she would because she likes to record and hang out with us. So she was on last week talking about pet loss. It was super great. We had so much feedback. Thank you. And so what I want to talk about today is, so for the past week, I've been sick, so I've kind of had some downtime. I haven't really been able to work out and stuff, so I've just been kind of thinking of things for my second book. So I have the first book out, Anxiety Makes Me Poop, same as the title here of this podcast. It is doing very well. Thank you for everyone that has downloaded the ebook, who has sent in the reviews, who has sent me personal text messages or emails, and just said, wow, they weren't sure how it was going to be, but they really loved it. And it's a super quick read. It's 28 short stories of things that happened to me in my life and how to recover from them, like some suggestions. It's kind of like, this is what happened to me. Maybe something similar happened to you and you can relate to it, but let's get through it together by doing this. And that's how the book is. So I'm already on to book number 2. It's actually going to be called Anxiety Makes Me Poop 2, TOO. So look forward to that. It's just going to be out in a couple months because, I just have so much to say and it's fantastic. So today I just want to talk about when you know you have to let go of a relationship or a friendship, especially a long one. So for my story, I had a friendship for many years, and it ended up where it was just really causing me stress. And so I had to let this person go. And it was probably the toughest time of my life, actually. It was probably worse than any breakup I ever had because I really cherished this friendship, but things were happening. We were each going different ways. I recognized it and I had to let them go. And it was very, very sad. And what happened was it was getting to the point, and I'll give it an example. It was getting to the point that when we went out for coffee or when we met up, because I was such a giving friend, that she would not even pull her wallet out to pay for coffee or to pay for lunch. She would just sit there, and if the bill came, it was just kind of known that I would pay. And so the first couple times I was like, no problem, I can take care of this. But then I started realizing and kind of making some mental notes that I was maybe being used a little bit. And there was some other conversations that were happening, and just with me wanting to start the podcasts and kind of moving to a new role in my job and then switching jobs and then wanting to write the book, I was just kind of expanding. And I felt like when we got together, I got this strange feeling in my stomach, right? They always say your body knows, right? Sometimes it's before your mind knows. Like I'd get a little like fluttery heart, or my stomach would kind of hurt, or I'd be nervous to see this person. And I couldn't figure out why. But then I realized that maybe it was just because we were growing apart, and it was really sad for me. Let me just say that. It wasn't like I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. No, nobody's perfect. So I'm not saying that it was all her, right? I'm just saying that we were growing differently. But what I was noticing was that I needed to go in a different direction. So super, super sad. So how do we get over that? Or how do we know, right? If you're and like I said, your body will tell you. maybe even before your mind. And it's going to be very scary. And if you have to say, this is not working, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, if you have to say it to yourself, man, this is not working. I don't feel right when I'm around this person. I'm not feeling that drive of a friendship, or I'm feeling used, or, we all go through it. If you haven't gone through a breakup, I am so happy for you, because breakups are the worst, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, right? They are just horrible because, this person's been around you for so long, and then you're like, wow, this isn't working. So I feel for anyone that might be going through it right now. So what I want to do is just talk through different things that are essential to prioritize your well-being and your personal growth through it, because I know it's hard. I've been through a couple of them, and I just want to talk through it. So just a couple tips on how to not feel bad about leaving a tough friendship, okay? So acknowledge your feelings like we were just talking about. Allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with the decision, right? Like, it's okay to feel sad or to feel guilty, or it's okay to even feel relief and release. Recognize that your emotions are valid. And if you really don't want to break up the relationship, maybe start setting boundaries. Establish clear boundaries. Before we went to coffee or before we went to lunch, I probably should have said, and we're each paying the bill. We're going to pay for ourselves. And it might also include like limiting your contact, or unfortunately completely cutting ties if necessary. So, but you definitely want to communicate it. Now, I wasn't super great, and I kind of just stopped, which I am not proud of, but at the time that was the best for me. I had kids to worry about, my family to worry about. I had a lot of stuff and I just had to say, I'm so sorry. I just can't be in this friendship anymore. And I didn't give too many reasons, but I also didn't want to do that because I didn't want to put it all to her. Because I know that it was both, right? A friendship and a relationship takes two people. It's always two people. And so I didn't want to say, well, you did this, this, and this is why we're not friends anymore, because that's not true. I should have set my boundaries. I should have spoke up more. So, I just want to make sure that you understand that as well. Reflect on your well-being. Consider that the impact of the friendship on your mental and emotional well-being could really be detrimental, right, to your health. Prioritize your health and your happiness when making decisions about relationships. Focus on your growth. Like, sometimes people grow apart because they have their own personal growth, and that's okay. You could see that person and say, wow, they're going for it. I'm not going to stand in their way. And it should be the other way around too, right? View the decision as an opportunity for personal growth. Whether you decide to just set some boundaries but stay in contact, or completely cut them off, or whatever you will make the best decision for you. Reflect on what you've learned from the relationship and how it has contributed to your development. So we had a great relationship. We needed each other at the time, and then we just grew apart. So another thing is surround yourself with support. Now, if that person is your only friend, you may feel very lonely. But you have to think about this. Would I rather learn to work on myself and then meet new friends that are like me and like-minded? Or would I rather stay with this person that's giving me stomach aches, stress? You have to decide that, even if they're your only friend. So, but if you can, surround yourself with support. Seek support from friends, family, other trusted individuals, therapy, whatever you want to do. Share your feelings and experiences with those who can provide understanding and encouragement. And I always say this, make sure it's a positive. Make sure it's a positive conversation. Don't go with someone that's going to say, well, misery loves company. Let me tell you about mine. No, you need them right now to give understanding and encouragement, and everything's going to be okay. And you're making the right decision, right? Obviously, if they want to tell you, well, how about this, this, and this? And you say, okay, well, maybe I'll just go back and think about this. Maybe I just need to set boundaries, right? Every single friendship and relationship is different. So again, it's completely up to you. These are just some highlights, some tips to help. Obviously, everything is up to you, right? The final decision is up to you. So these are just tips to help you get through. So another one would be like to reframe your perspective. shift your perspective from guilt to self-care. I had a lot of guilt. A lot of guilt. We knew each other for a very long time. And I was like, why am I feeling this way? What is happening? What has changed? But then once I started doing self-care to prioritize myself, mental health and happiness is not selfish. It's essential for personal growth. And since then, I have expanded into different things. And that's just my story. I started the 2 podcasts. I wrote a book. I just kind of was expanding out. Unfortunately, I don't know what she has done. I'm sure it's been amazing things. Maybe we were in each other's way and now we're both growing, which is phenomenal. Another one would be to forgive yourself. So for about a year, I did not. I was like, wow, this is not good. This is crazy. Why did I do this? Why did I completely set my boundary? And the boundary was, I am no longer speaking to this person. I really felt bad about it because I kept thinking, well, what if she needs me? But you know what? They don't need you. It's okay. Recognize that ending a friendship is a difficult decision, but it's okay to prioritize your own needs. They'll find their support. You find your support. It's fine. Forgive yourself for making a choice that is ultimately in your best interest. It has to be about you. This is not a selfish thing, especially if you're seeing the signs that it's affecting you emotionally and physically. You can release unhealthy attachments, like let go of any guilt or obligation that may be keeping you tied to the friendship. And I had to do that. It took about a year. I just kind of had to release everything. I did seek therapy. I did seek some other very good friends that I have. I seeked my family. And I got to the point where I understood that it was okay to prioritize my own happiness and my well-being. You also have to seek closure. So that's with everything, right? It's with everything. You hear that all the time. If it's appropriate, you have to seek the closure by having an honest and respectful conversation with the friend. I did not do that. So I'm suggesting that maybe you could do that if you can. If it's obviously a dangerous situation or a very emotional situation, then you may not want to seek closure. Obviously, talk to a medical professional about that or someone that can help you through that. But seeking closure can provide a sense of resolution and understanding. I know a lot of people have their last coffee talk, right? Or they go to lunch and they say, here's how I'm feeling, here's what we're doing. And after that conversation, maybe they just know that that's the last conversation. I've heard that from a few people. So whatever it is for you, do it. Whatever's best for you, do it. And then focus on the future. As much as we want to just be in the present, because the future, we don't know the future. We know what happened in the past, right? We're like, okay, fine. The present is really the only thing that matters. But if you are focusing on your future, you can direct your energy towards that instead of thinking about the past. And maybe even if it's in the present right now that you might be on your way to a conversation with a friend. So consider the possibilities for new, healthier friendships that align with your values. That is so important. I'm going to say that again. Consider the possibilities for new and healthier friendships that align with your values. There's a lot of people in this world. There are people that have your same values, and you will find them. Do not worry. You will find them. You have to put yourself out there, but you will find them. And then obviously we want to learn from it. We want to learn from it. We don't really want to always think about the past. If we are having a hard time, again, seek professional help. But let's learn from the experience. Identify lessons learned from this friendship, whether it was challenging or it just wasn't going anywhere, whatever it is. Use the insights to make informed decisions in your future relationships or friendships. And then, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during the process. Understand that making tough decisions is a part of life, and it's okay. It's okay to prioritize your own happiness. Obviously, engage in self-care. Prioritize self-care activities that bring you comfort and bring you joy. Don't beat yourself up over it. If it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing a hobby maybe that will take your mind off of it, or practicing mindfulness that helps you let it go and then move on, focus on activities that nourish your well-being. Maybe go for a walk or talk with someone, whatever you want to do, but engage in self-care. Embrace change. So it is change because you're not going to hear from that person anymore, or the boundaries are that you're only going to hear from them once a month, or you have to go out there now and find new relationships or new friendships. So you have to embrace that change is going to happen because you've made this decision. And what I did with this is, like I said, although I cut it off quickly and was like, this is not working for me, I did reflect on what change was going to happen when I did it. It was probably a few months of, okay, if I let go of this person and this friendship, what are the changes in my life? And there were going to be some, because some of our activities overlapped. So I knew that there was a possibility that I might see her again. So I had to embrace the change. So for you, recognize the change. It's a natural part of life. Embrace the opportunity to grow and evolve by making changes that align with your personal values and goals. So it really is about you. And I'm going to say that I am confident you gave a relationship or a friendship 110%, and then you realize that you were going in different directions, or you were growing, or they were growing. Can we also say that if you're noticing that your friend is growing and they're expanding and they're going, and you might be that person that is stopping them, don't do that. Let them grow. If you're the person that's getting the boundaries set on you, understand that you can also take to self-care and self-compassion and learn from experience if it's flipped, right? If you are having the conversation with someone, they're saying, hey, I'm off to do this, this, and this, and I feel like this friendship needs boundaries, understand that it's they're doing the same thing as well. Like, they're focusing on their future. They're learning from the experience. They're practicing self-compassion. And so you have to say, okay, understood, take a deep breath, and then you do what you need to do. So remember, it's okay to prioritize your well-being, leave a challenging friendship that no longer serves you, and choose to focus on personal growth and self-care. Be positive and empower yourself for the step forward. Hey, thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.